Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Mocha Jules, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're one of my returning babes, hey beautiful. So today's video, we're gonna be doing this look right here. The season of holidays is here, winter is here, Christmas is coming. How exciting. So what better way to start it off with this blue eyeshadow look. I hope you beauties enjoy it. I will have everything listed down in the description box below, so anything I have and use today, it will be listed down below. Or if it's not on stock anymore, just know I have found you alternatives and they're all listed down below as well. So let's get right into it, and beauties, I hope to see you at the end of this video. All right, babe, so we did go ahead and do our eyebrows first. I don't usually do it on camera often, but I thought about it because one of my friends been asking me for a eyebrow tutorial, so I'm like, let me do it today while I'm doing my makeup so that I can go ahead and send her to this video, because the other video that I do have showing you guys how I do my eyebrows, I was using a different product, and for me, the NYX, it is more affordable than the Anastasia Beverly Hills. So I'm like, okay, let me just do this quick eyebrow tutorial at the beginning of this video so I can go ahead and direct my friend to this video. And also, you know, if you babes want to see how I do my eyebrows, this is how I do my eyebrows. And I'm actually liking it today. Because sometimes, let me tell you, it's not always what you see. Sometimes it's a hit or miss. So today's makeup look, we're going to be doing like a blue eyeshadow look. I want to add like more color makeup look on my page for you beauties who like to do color on your lids. So I'm like, let me go ahead and do this blue eyeshadow. So let's just begin this tutorial, and let me stop chit-chatting. So I did go ahead and zoom in just a bit so that you guys can actually see what is happening. So first I'm going to go ahead and prep my lids, and the way that I prep my lids is first I'm going to go ahead and use a concealer to set my lids, and then I'm going to go ahead and set it with a setting powder. So the concealer that I'll be using today, I usually use my e.l.f. Camel Concealer. Alright, so I am going to be using my e.l.f. Camel Concealer Satin Finish in the shade Deep Cinnamon. And then I'm going to be using my Laura Mercier Translucent Medium Deep Blue Setting Powder. And then the brush that I'm going to be using to apply the concealer and the powder is going to be this brush. And Real Techniques have this brush, and it is the number 402. And it looks just like this. I did get this off of Amazon, so it's pretty much a dupe. But I will have everything linked down below for you. So now let's move on to our eyeshadow. So first I am going to go ahead and do a transition shade. So I'm going to use my favorite transition shade, and it's from the Vanessa palette with Juvia's Place. And the transition shade is right here. And that is in BSG. And the brush that I'll be using is my Sephora Pro Crease number 24 brush, which looks like this. Honestly, this brush, I only use it for my transition shades. So while applying my transition shade, I make sure I stay on the outer corner, below, a little bit below my brow bone, and then drag it into the crease. So I start from the outer corner first, a little bit into the inside, just a bit, drag it under the brow bone into the crease, because I still want that effect on my eyebrows, between my eyebrows and my eyeshadow, to still have that pop, because it makes the eyeshadow pop out even more, well, in my opinion. And then I just drag it just a bit here by the nose and stop right there, because once I put the foundation and stuff and then the contour, I'm going to drag it just a bit there to give it that contour kind of look. So the palette that I'm going to be using is the Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 5. I don't think they have this palette anymore, but a palette that I know that has blues is Juvia's Place, and I think it's called Light something. I would have it down below, but that palette has some blue eyeshadows, and if you know, you know, Juvia's Place is very pigmented, so definitely I would say get that palette if you cannot find this palette, because I think this was just like a seasonal thing. But yeah, so this is the palette that I'll be using today, and the shade that I'm going to start off first with is Strong, which looks like this. Trying to make sure the camera capture it. And this palette is just an overall beautiful palette, as you can see. And this is the shade. So before I go ahead and apply that shimmer, I am going to go ahead and apply the NYX glitter primer, and it looks like this. And what I do first before applying this, I do apply it on the back of my palm, just the dot, like so. This is the dot, like that. And then I'll just take like a flat brush and then I'll rub it on it, because honestly, I like to start small and then gradually increase, because if you start so big, then it doesn't leave room for you to fix any damages that you do, right? So I'm going to start off small, and then I take a brush. I'm using my Makeup by Mario. I don't know the name of this brush, but it says E6 on it, and it looks like this. So I'm going to use this side, the flat side, and if you have like a flat brush, you can use a flat brush like the one that I had used to carve out my brows. If you have a brush like that, you can use that one. Usually I use those, but I don't have it with me right now, so I'm just using this because it's also flat. So I'm going to go ahead and tap it like this, and then I'm going to apply it on my lids. Make sure it's evenly coated, and then I'm going to apply it on my lids like I'm doing like a cut crease. And honestly, using this to me helps the eyeshadow pop out even more. I mean, not eyeshadow, the shimmer pop out more. A little side note, my lips is so dry, so if you keep seeing me lick my lips, it's because it's so dry. I forgot to get my gloss, my chap gloss thing, or my lip balm, and because I'm pressed for time, I'm not getting up to get it. So yeah, we're just gonna keep licking our lips. I know it makes it even more dry, but we gotta make it do what it do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other lid. I think I'm gonna drag it just a bit right here too. Yeah, and then I'm gonna do the other lid. All right, so I did go ahead and apply it to my other lid. I am gonna use the same brush. I'm just wiping it. I could have used the other side, but I'm wiping both sides, being that I'm going to use 2 shimmer shades. So I'm cleaning it up with a dry wipe. I'm not looking up right now because I know it's kind of weird why I'm not looking up, but I'm not looking up because I don't want my lids to crease. So I'm just keeping it low. I'm looking at the mirror and yeah, making sure it's not going to crease. So now I'm going to go ahead and use that same brush, and I'm going to go into strong. See, even when I clean up the brush, I'm gonna show you how pigmented this thing is. Like, it is pigmented. Like, girl, see how pigmented it is? Wow. All right, so as you can see, I did leave this part here with no shimmer, and that's because I'm going to apply the second shimmer shade right here in the inner corner. So the second shimmer shade that I'm going to be using, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and go into Resilient. Right? Is that Resilient? Yeah, Resilient. It's this shade right here. And I'm going to go ahead and use the other side of the brush, the same Makeup by Mario brush. Alright, so now that we have our, shade on the inner corner and stuff, beautiful. This is gorgeous. So you see how, like, there's streaks and stuff, like, it doesn't look right. So I'm going to go ahead and go back in with my Sephora number 24 brush in that same shade BSG, and I'm going to blend the two together so that it removes that harsh line. Like this. See, like so. Blend it in. You see how it just disappears? You just blend it in until it's your desired preference. So you just keep going until, you don't see that harsh line. And for me, in the mirror, I don't see it. So I'm just going to leave it like this. And then I'm going to do the other side. Right. Ooh. Ooh. I love it. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think if I want liner. But it's like, what's a pop of, eyeshadow if you're not going to use liner? It would have been cute if I did a white liner. But I'm not today. Not today because I'm actually going somewhere, and I don't want the dramatic, I don't want all eyes on me. So I'm going to keep it like this. I'm going to go ahead and use my liner, but it's going to be in black. So the liner that we'll be using today is, we're going to be using the e.l.f. Expert Liquid Eyeliner in the shade Jet Black. And this is what it looks like. Alright, so now before moving on to like moisturizer and all that extra good stuff, I am going to go ahead and clean up the fallouts that we had. I'm just going to take my micellar water and then I'm going to use a pad, the Sephora pad, and then I'm just going to clean it all up. Micellar water from Garnier. I do have a fresh one, but it's in the bathroom, and oh no, it's literally right across from me, but it's over there. And this one was right there. Clean up. So now that we have our lids done, we're moving on to the face. So first thing first, before we do anything, we're going to go ahead and moisturize our skin. Have to make sure we have our skin prep. Skincare is very, very important when applying makeup because that honestly sets the foundation of everything that comes after. So first we're going to go ahead and moisturize our skin with our Charlotte Tilbury Magic Serum. It looks like this. Y'all, don't mind the small bottle. Was not my fault. I thought I was gonna get me a nice size when I got this, but and then after I go ahead and apply my serum, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Dermalogica skin smoothing cream. So I'm going to go ahead and use a fan to let it set just a bit because we are so pressed for time. I have to move at a fast speed right now because hubby was like, yeah, hurry up. So I'm going to go ahead and use a fan to set it for just 2 minutes just to make sure it sets properly. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. Next up, we're going to go ahead and prime. And to prime, we're going to use one of my faves, which is Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum Hydrating Primer Face Serum in the shade Juice Boost. And it looks like this. I love this so much. It gives like this nice glow and it sticks. It allows the makeup to stick properly. I haven't had no pills with the foundations that I use. Like chef's kiss, okay? Chef's kiss. Alright, so now that we have our skin primed and prepped and all of the above, we're moving on to foundation. Honestly, after the eyes, once the eyeshadow part is done, literally everything comes quicker. It's just full speed after. So today's foundation, we're going to be using our Nars Light Reflecting Foundation in the shade Namibia. I also like the Natural Radiant one too. I was going to use that one, but this is already almost done. So I'm like, why not just finish it? And it looks like this. I'm going to be using my Maréna Beauties brush. And this is the foundation and concealer brush, which looks like this. This is the side for the foundation, and this is the side to blend out the concealer. So we're going to go ahead and apply our foundation. So when I apply my foundation, I like to apply it on my lips too, because my lips are a very, very deep shade. So in order for it to like have like this one shade thing going on, I like to apply just the excess on my lips to get rid of that deep shade, just so that when it's time to apply my lips, you know, I done set it and everything. And honestly, it makes the lipstick apply nicer. And babes, don't forget, when you're applying your foundation, don't forget under your neck. Very, very important, especially if you're like me who have hyperpigmentation. Under your neck is very important because you want that, you know, blend. All right, so now we're moving on to concealer. So to conceal, we're gonna go ahead and use our Urban Decay Stay Naked Quickie Concealer in the shade 90 NN. And then to highlight, we're gonna use our Stay Naked Quickie Concealer in the shade 70 NN. And then to contour, I am gonna go ahead and go in with my Black Opal True Color Foundation Stick in the shade Java Dream. Alright, beauty, so now we're going to go ahead and apply our liquid blush. I was supposed to do it before I did highlight, but it's okay. Either way, it's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blush. And this is in the shade Dancing Queen. Very, very beautiful. And I'm going to use my Milk Makeup brush. And this is their... It doesn't even have a name. It don't have a name, but it does look like this. I just started using this brush. It's kind of angled, but then it also like, I guess, densed. And you have to literally, a little goes a long way with this blush. And you just build it up because it's very, very pigmented. So when I apply my blush, I like to start at the top and then move down. as you can see. See? Beautiful. So now we're going to go ahead and set our highlighted area with a pressed powder first. So we're going to go in with our MAC Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation in the shade NC50. And it looks like this. So we're going to use this just to set that in place. And then we're going to go ahead and go in with our loose powder. So I'm going to use this triangular puff here to set that in place. Alright, so now that we went ahead and set it, now we're going to go ahead and go in with our loose powder. And we're going to go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills loose setting powder in the shade Golden Orange. If you watched my last video, I said it was almost done. And girl, we are still rocking with this powder, honey. Like, we're going to make sure we use all of it. I'm going to use that same powder puff, but I'm going to flip it to the other side. And then I'm going to go ahead and go into the loose powder. And then the excess, I'm going to make sure I pat it on the back of my palm just to make sure that it's evenly coated. I'm not baking. We just making sure we just set it. Alright, so now that we went ahead and set with our loose powder, we're going to go ahead and set our face with the first setting spray. So the first spray we're going to go ahead and go in with, we're going to use our Milk Makeup Hydra Grip Set Refresh Spray, which looks like this. A new bottle. Who's this? Alright, beauties, we're almost done. So as you can see, we have like this glowy finish. El perfecto, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and set our whole face with our finishing powder. And we're going to go in with the one and only Sephora Micro Smooth Powder in the shade Hazelnut, which looks like this. And I'm going to use my Sephora number 50. I think it's number 50. It's fading away. My Pro Powder number 50 brush, which looks like this. And I'm going to set all over. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and do our under eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and use my, do I want to add a liner? Yeah, just to make the eyeshadow pop. I'm going to go ahead and use my Urban Decay Glide 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil. And this is in the shade Perversion. And it looks like this. It's basically like a deep black. So I'm going to apply it on my waterline. Alright, so we did go ahead and apply the liner. We didn't do too much because again, the main character is the lids, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead with that same transition shade that we used. We're gonna go ahead and blend our under eyelid, just going back in with the Sephora number 24 brush, and then I'm gonna go back in the Juvia's Place Vanessa palette in that same shade BSG and just apply it on my waterline. So now we got our lashes. So final steps. So now we're going to go ahead and bronze. So the bronzer that I decided to use today is my Patrick Ta's cream contour and powder bronzer duo in the shade She's Defined. So I'm going to use the powdered. I'm going to go back in with the same brush that I used earlier to contour, and this is my Danessa Myricks brush, and this is Yummy Face 1.0. It is also an angle brush. Alright, so now it's blush time. So the blush we're going to be using today is Juvia's Place Blush Rouge in volume 5. Beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and go into both shades. And I'm going to go in with the same brush, Milk Makeup Brush. And I'm just going to wipe off the excess on a napkin or something. And then use the same brush. Alright, beauty, so now we have our blush. So I like to go back in with my powder puff so that I can have this seamless, because as you can see, it's kind of harsh. So going in with whatever was left over in your powder puff and just blending it all in, make everything look so nicely. And then I'm just going to go in just a little bit from the brows to the nose, brows to the nose, like so. I didn't go back in the palette or anything, just whatever was left over in the brush. Alright, so we have our blush, our bronzer. Now we're going to set our last set. We're going to go ahead and go in with our Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Spray. Make sure you give it a test first, and then you spray. Alright, beauties, so last but not least, a lippy. Okay, so today's lip combo, it's a bit much, kinda. So I'm gonna use my Wet n Wild lip liner. Well, liner. I don't know if it's a lip liner, but I use it as a lip liner. But it's their co-liner, and this is in the shade Simmer Brown, and it looks like this. If you know, you know. I got a bunch of these, and this is what I usually use and pretty much only use for my liner. And then after I use that, I line my lips. I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Velvet in the shade Hush Rose, which looks like this. And then after I apply that, I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Cotton Candy Lip Gloss, which looks like this. And then we're going to top it off with our Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Hot Chocolate on the parts that I pretty much lined my lips. So where I line my lips is where I'm going to apply the hot chocolate. that is it, babes. What do you guys think? Oh my gosh, like I know you guys know it was coming, that I was gonna say I'm definitely feeling myself, but of course this is what we do. We enhance the beauty that we already have, and the end results are always superb. All we gotta do is just follow these steps step by step, and your makeup would definitely be flawless. Honey, you like? Make sure if you do go ahead and recreate this look, don't forget to shoot me a DM or send me an email, or whatever way you want to send it to me, girl. Make sure you send it to me so I can see and hype you up, because honey, I know you're about to look so good in this blue. Oh my gosh, like girl, yes. So babes, I hope you loved today's video, and I hope you end up recreating this look, of course. So beauties, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also leave a comment down below of anything you would love to see from me next, or anything you enjoyed about today's video. As always, I love you beauties, and I hope to see you babes on my next video. Bye.